shoes.
Ballet.
Ballet and elegance in the music.
Ballerinas and tutus and dance slippers.
Just a regular ballet dancer in the spin.
Ballet.
Ballet and like really like stereotypical type stuff like the Nutcracker.
I think the stereotype about dancers is that they're all one size and everyone kind of looks the same.
Dancers typically have to have, blonde hair and, very skinny and long legs.
Probably long legs.
Dancers aren't taken seriously and they're kind of looked down upon as a school, club, or sport.
They are unathletic.
That is not a real sport, but honestly, it seems really hard. I couldn't do it myself, so.
A lot of people just don't think it's like a sport, but it honestly seems pretty hard to do.
Literally everyone's dealt with body image issues at some point in their life, some worse than others, but it's not just people who are a little bit overweight or people who are super skinny. Like, it's not just those people. It affects everyone, whether you think that they're the most beautiful person in the world or not so pretty. Like, everyone is affected by it. It's taken me years and years and years to get things under control again,
And so I equated feeling worthy to being very thin.
My name is Katie Ewald and I am a senior.
I'm Amari and I am a senior.
I'm Lindsay Surratt and I'm in 12th grade.
I started dancing when I was 2 years old.
When I was 3 years old.
When I was 2. I don't remember that, but my mom signed me up when I was really little.
My name is Angela Cole and I have been dancing since I was a little kid. I've always taken dance lessons. But I didn't start seriously studying it till I was about 10 or 11.
I think that when I was younger, I kind of thought dance was like very strict and like everyone kind of had to be the same. And now I feel like as I've gotten older and as I've gotten to know more about the dance community, it's a lot more about like embracing who you are and embracing like what kind of dancing you're interested in, and it's not always strict and technical.
I would say there was a good moment in time where it was kind of dreadful to go to dance because I didn't want to look at myself in my leotard and everyone else looks a certain way and you don't. It was kind of like a little offsetting for me.
It's very competitive, as it's seen as well, very competitive. I also think that we're hopefully moving to more body positive. I don't know if that's fully gonna happen more in like ballet, but I feel like in more like contemporary and more like jazz and hip hop professionals, that side of dance is hopefully definitely more inclusive now.
I think a lot of times when people think of like ballerinas or whatever, or when they think of dancers, they think of ballerinas, and then when they think of ballerinas, it's very like, there's no like body inclusivity, I guess, and like a lot of the people in their minds are like specifically like a little bit thinner and things like that.
Especially when you're putting on like tighter clothes to work out, you're kind of thinking before you go in that dance class, you're like, I shouldn't really eat anything before I go to dance class because what if my stomach sticks out like a little bit, so then you don't end up eating before you work out. And then after your 3-hour dance class or whatever, you come back like starving because you didn't eat before you worked out because you were scared you weren't gonna look well.
I think that it comes down to the fact that in the art of dance, the instrument that you're using is your body. And when we're talking about, what it means to objectify a body, that means that, we're equating a body as something to be looked at. And so in dance, your teachers are looking at your body, you're looking at your body, the audience is looking at your body moving through space. So it's kind of like, how do we not objectify a dancer's body? Like, we're not listening to them talk, we're watching them dance. So there's that. And also, if you look at it from a historical context, the people that have led the dance world and who kind of control what happens in it are white men and what they feel is attractive. So when you put those two things together, I think that's how, you know, we've ended up where we're at.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. Until I was 5, though, I had a speech delay, so up until the age of 5, I couldn't talk.
I say vehicles! Which ones?
So I think for me, ever since I was little, dancing has always been very freeing. It's always been a way for me to express myself when still now I can't find the words to say, or I don't really know what I'm feeling, like I don't know how to express that. When I was 14, I joined the studio that I'm currently at, and as a 14-year-old girl, I peaked a little bit early, so my body was a little bit more developed. And I remember my first day there, it was a ballet class. I was in tights and a leotard just like everyone else, and I was in a class of a bunch of other girls who were very stick thin. And I have always been very athletic, more like the skinnier side, but I just remember that first class there, I could not stop staring at myself, at my stomach, at my thighs, at my arms, thinking, I'm so fat, like I'm fatter than these girls, like I'm not the right body type, I need to lose weight, I need to go on a diet, I need to do something. And that led me to unhealthy eating and forming these irregular eating habits. I remember the first few days when I first started like unhealthy eating, it's like you are constantly hungry. Food is like the only thing you can think about, and your body is constantly screaming at you like you need food, you need to eat, and you ignore it. And then after a few days, your body finally just stops trying and you just aren't hungry anymore. And when you're 14 years old and you feel that for the first time, I hate to say that I was like excited because I was thinking so poorly about myself, and I'm like, oh, okay, like finally, like I'm not hungry anymore, like I'm gonna get used to this. 14 is an age where you value appearance way too much and you are constantly living your head, and you just need to find little things in life just to distract yourself. Like you need to recognize it and just think of something completely different. Like for me, I noticed like years ago, I can look back now and notice that years ago I was on social media way too much and I was in the mirror way too much. But back then, I didn't realize that that was like a bad thing. I thought that was me just being aware of myself and like staying on top of myself, which is not good at all. And I kind of need this advice for myself. Like it's a good way to like remind myself
that you're enough.
Yeah, you're enough. You'll always be enough. You, any dancer, even if you're not a dancer, you're enough. And you need to respect your body, respect yourself. You need to eat the right things. Starving yourself, that's not going to make you happy. I am living proof that it will not make you happy. It will only cause more problems. And the best thing to do is just ignore those thoughts, because there are some thoughts that you don't need to give the time of day, that you just need to brush aside. And you don't always have to live in your head. Just live in the moment instead, because it's a lot better.